On the 10th day of this month, every man shall take a lamb according to their father's houses, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for a lamb, then he and his nearest neighbor shall take according to the number of persons, according to what each can eat. You shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male, a year old. You may take it from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall put it until the 14th day of this month, when the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill their lambs at twilight. Then they shall take some of the blood and put it on the 2 doorposts and the lintel of the houses in which they eat it. They shall eat the flesh that night, roasted on the fire, with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall eat it. Do not eat any of it raw or boiled in water, but roasted, its head with its legs and its inner parts. And you shall let none of it remain until the morning. Anything that remains until the morning you shall burn. In this manner you shall eat it, with your belt fastened, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And you shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt that night, and I will strike all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and on all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. The blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and no plague will befall you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. This day shall be for you a memorial day, and you shall keep it as a feast to the Lord. Through your generations, as a statute forever, you shall keep it as a feast. The book of Exodus continues beyond this point to describe Passover in greater detail, and Moses' dissemination of those details to the elders and people of Israel. And then it tells us that the people did as Moses shared. And at the end of the feast, the Israelite people walked out of the land after what the book of Exodus explains as a 430-year time of captivity in the land of Egypt. They walk out under the watch of the Lord. We're told that there were 600,000 men, plus their wives and children, millions of people, leave the land of Egypt in the wake of the devastation which the plagues had wrought on the land. Now, we don't know the exact date of the Exodus, but the estimates say that it took place somewhere between 14 and 1700 years before the birth of Jesus, which means that the Passover feast is roughly 3,500 years in continuity. And as we talked about on Wednesday, we see that the feast is observed in remembrance almost continually. The lambs slaughtered and eaten on the night are a reminder of the cost of the salvation of the people of Israel. The blood on the doorpost serves as a reminder of the death they were spared and the oppression that was ended. The elements of the Passover feast, which are not unique to the night, but their combination and the story that is told along with the feast etches on the mind of those who participate in it each year the story of salvation for their people, with the lingering, haunting echo of the plagues that precede it. It's a stunning and sobering feast, and its role only becomes more significant in light of the ways in which the gospel writers and Jesus himself link it to the events of the life of Christ, which I promise we will explore later. I love you, and today I pray that you would reflect on this thought. Salvation always comes at a cost, and remembering that cost is imperative to our appreciation of that salvation.